Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. Sorry, no camera today. All right, BitcoinDailyView.com got more for you there. The indicators that I used, etc., and things like that. So, Bitcoin trading volume explicitly today is, as it refreshes, 5,682,000,000. Not bad. Binance is over 3 billion. Coinbase is 1.3 billion if we round it up. In general, not a bad day. Little Bittrex over in Seattle is at 19 billion. Like to see that above 20 billion. I mean, I'm sorry, 20, not billion, million. So Bittrex 19 million in trading volume. It's not bad for that little guy in the mid 20s. It's kind of a good one, a good number for that exchange. So in general, we got some Bitcoin trading volume. That's nice. It's been hard to get above 3 billion the last couple of weeks, really. And then of course, yesterday and the day before, I think well yesterday and actually this morning too, we had amazing volume. I think when I looked this morning earlier, it was like 11 billion or something like that, market wide for Bitcoin. So volume is definitely decreasing as we move into this weekend. Not surprising, especially with all the volatility recently. Even though Bitcoin kind of made a little bit of a pump today, it's not really holding it. So we'll see how that goes. I think investor sentiment might be on the sidelines this weekend. We shall take a look at more stuff and see how it looks. But 5.6 or basically 5.7 billion if we round it up in trading volume is not bad at all for a Friday. But do note that we are waning in volume rather explicitly right now. All right, now looking at cryptometer.io, we've got it says 6.8 trading volume, a bit more than Bitcoin trade volume. Bitcoin trade volume is usually more accurate, I think. So 5.7 versus 6.8. At most, probably 6 billion in volume for Bitcoin explicitly last 24 hours across the big exchanges. And that volume is decreasing, of course. Our split is by 90. Our split is across the big exchanges is buy 50.45% and sell 49.55%. Not bad. We're just barely keeping a positive edge on things. All right, looking at the exchanges, the big guys here, what's really explicit, what really kind of matters right now is not so much the volume. The volume is good, but here's the deal. It's decreasing rather quickly. You can see all the red here. So we are definitely waning in volume very quickly as we roll into weekend, kind of to be expected. And that's for spot trading pairs. Looking at derivatives, I don't know how Kraken can have 683 billion. Maybe it does, but I'm looking at Binance has been kind of my measurement for quite a while, and Binance at 50 billion is good, 60 billion is better, 70 billion is a really good day. We're at 64 billion, 65 if we kind of round that up. So not a bad day for derivatives on Binance. Right, looking at livebitcoincharts.com, let's refresh this. Bitcoin's coming in at 29,538. It was above 30,000 earlier today, but volume is decreasing and the market might be getting ready to go potty, so beware. Looking at the top 100 below, most are in the green. I really like seeing that. Of course, Terra USD is utterly destroyed, and so is Terra. Terra down 99.6%. You know what? But I still wouldn't buy that dip. All right, so in general, got some strong top 100 alts right now, most in the green. That is good, but they're all beginning to turn around like Bitcoin is. We're going to look at some alts as we roll through all of this because they kind of all have the same pattern. Looking at Binance, longs versus shorts. Okay, 56% long, 43% short. That's hardly a long bias. For Ethereum, 57% long, 42% short. So on Binance, for a lot of that sweet volume is in the market, we're not seeing a super positive long sentiment. And I kind of actually like it when it's tighter like this because right now the market, it's kind of hard to call. So these numbers look very honest to me. I would say only the slightest long bias for Bitcoin and Ethereum on Binance. All right, looking at the ruble versus USD. So RUB versus USD. Interesting news story about this. I wanted to just point out that when we're doing our crypto here, we're looking at the markets. We kind of got to look at try to find things you can continue watching and get to know them. And then when something's out of place, you'll know that it's something you can use. So just saying basically from the day that Russia started its special operations to like right now, that's basically like 87 days, and the ruble's up 16.62%. I'm sorry, 17.62%. That would be amazing if the special operations were not even happening. That would be amazing. So, and that leads me to this story. I'm gonna actually have to put a note in this on my chart there and add this. Ruble surpasses Brazil's real, I guess, as year's best performing currency. Do you realize what just happened? So this is Bloomberg from May 11th. So with the special operations going on in the Ukraine, Russia's doing that, and you look at the babies and the collective Western governments who just are doing everything they possibly can to get World War III going, via proxy war in Ukraine using NATO. They won't rest until they get it. With that said, the ruble is crushing right now. You could say crushing the dollar, but not exactly. But the ruble itself is just crushing it. I mean, after a V-shaped recovery and all these sanctions and all these, globalist babies trying to destroy that country, just take note. And just take note what Bloomberg just wrote. I note this because just be aware of what's going on in the world. Put some effort into it. Listen to the Bitcoin Daily View, because that ruble chart and this Russian and this so this Telegram this trading view chart for the ruble versus the dollar and this Bloomberg article do not reflect anything that the mainstream media is saying about this, supposedly Russia getting its ass handed to it in Ukraine, and all those billions, the 40 billion, if that gets approved, Rand Paul did slow it down. If that gets approved, it's all going to get embezzled. It's one great big scam, and if any military equipment crosses the border into the Ukraine, it will be instantly destroyed. So just take note what's going on in the world and plan accordingly. Myself, stocking up on servable foods and practicing hunger. So, all right, looking at U.S. Oil on the spot. So U.S. oil spot, today it's up a good deal, $108 a barrel. I can dig that. Looking at the currency here, US dollar strength index, the DXY, red candle today, but it has been just crushing it for a good number of days in a row. And it's above all important moving averages. The DXY is just insane. S&P 500, I am happy to say yesterday was a green candle with quite the wicks up and down. And today it is quite the green candle with wicks only to the upside. Things tend to point wicks where they want to go. So it looks like S&P 500 might be making a bit of a bounce on the daily. I can dig that. Looking at the Tech 100 here. This is very interesting. I dig it. It's below all important moving averages, but this ticker here is the U.S. Tech 100 CFD. Good one to watch. This is, of course, the U.S. Tech 100, the biggies. It's been just basically not doing well at all for a good number of days. Got a green candle today. Let's see what happens. Some people who are, candlestick aficionados would denote this is actually a turnaround. We'll see if we bounce there. We bounce there, but at least today is a green candle, and so is the S&P 500. I'll take it. It's good enough. I'm not going to look at any more indexes. CFDs, basically gold here. Gold below all important moving averages continues to plummet. Gold is over. Sorry, Peter Schiff. Go smoke a friggin' shotgun in a truck stop pillar and a truck stop friggin' bathroom. Anyway, for silver here, it's continuing to dump. It's below all important moving averages. That's not a beautiful thing to see if you're a silver person. It has been a couple times trying to get a reversal, kind of trying to push that, trying to make it happen. We'll see. Maybe it'll happen today, but so far it has not been able to. Silver continues to plummet, which I must admit I am very wary of. I don't quite get why gold is dumping. I don't really get why silver is dumping so hard. Especially all the silver that's needed to build a cruise missile. All right, now looking at the Bitcoiner. Looking at Bitcoin today, one good positive thing about Bitcoin today I have to note is this. the daily MACD is beginning to just struggle to have a positive tangent. So far, it has not been able to, but it's trying to. The histogram's closing a little bit towards the positive. I like seeing that. We did, of course, recently wick to the bottom of the 618 golden pocket. Now we're above the 618 so far today. Let's see how it goes. The day is still not over. I would love to close a green candle today. That would just be a nice thing to close a green candle above the 618 on the daily chart. Would be rocking. And of course, that's my 618. As I drew it here, I have an idea over at Telegram. Not Telegram. I have an idea over at what do they call it? Tradingview.com. And you can probably find it under my username, Cowboy Craig. And fibs are a matter of opinion, but if you find one that sticks, it sticks. It works. It works. This is going way back to like the March of 2020 to the high on in November of this year. No, I'm sorry, November of 2021, and I think this sticks pretty well. This 618 golden pocket has definitely been a bounce spot, for Bitcoin a good number of times, even if it didn't completely wick to it. It certainly has. So this is a logical bounce, and I think it could very well happen. We shall see, but watch out because we do have a lot of weakness in the market right now. If this MACD, in my opinion, can get a nice positive tangent, I think that will start to create some investor confidence. Maybe we'll see the volume pick up, but we are heading into a weekend where many traders just need to drink and meditate. They've had enough. So let's see how it actually rolls. Let's look at a 3-day chart. All right, 3-day chart. Leaving that fib up there, you can kind of see it pretty clearly what's going on. 3-day chart, the MACD is still very, very negative. But do note this, and this is something I think is going to play out maybe. I think it has validity to it. This is a 3-day candle, of course, that opened on the 13th. This would have been like the 10th, 11th, 12th. This is the 13th. So it opened today. Okay, so we managed to kind of, even though I have quite the Darth Maul doji here, we closed the 3-day candle yesterday. And as you can see, massive Darth Maul doji, that's for sure. But overall, the body is mostly above the 314 moving average here on the 3-day chart. That is the 314 moving average, like the 200 moving average, are very, poignant moving averages. Now, on the 3-day chart, same as every other chart, if you use this much time, you get the 618 golden pocket. Well, we bounced it. Let's see. It's an interesting situation. Got the 314 moving average, a very, very powerful and possible bounce spot, which also corresponds to the 618 moving at the 618 fib level, as I've drawn it here. So I think this is a very, very valid, powerful bounce spot. I think we certainly could see this happen, but we do it need to see that daily MACD get positive if the 3-day is going to follow it and start moving away from this 314 moving average and call that a good bounce, a good reversal. It ain't quite a reversal yet. And of course, as I've mentioned before, if we don't hold it, in my humble opinion, a logical bounce spot after that will be the 786 fib, which would be quite a bounce, a respectable bounce. It certainly would. As you can see, it does have some magnetic attraction here. This fib does fit, and that would be about an 18K bounce. And if that happens, well, it happens. It could also just be a wick that goes that low. Certainly could. Let's look at a 2-hour let's look at the 2-hour chart here. 2-hour MACD. Which way is that thing pointing right now? Oh, sorry about that. Boom. Let's leave that. Do this. So 2-hour MACD, where is that pointing? See, 2-hour had a positive move on the MACD, but now the tangent is going negative. Usually the direction of the 2-hour MACD is the direction that the daily will follow. So anyway, this is Friday. I think the trading volume is definitely decreasing. So let's just see what happens. 2-hour chart actually is below all the important moving averages, the 200, the 314, the 50, and even the 20 WMA right now. It's below that. So, but it is holding that 618, of course. So let's see what happens. Everyone, just be careful. We're rolling into a weekend, and I think if we go down to if the Bitcoin trading volume and the spot trading volume ultimately keeps decreasing, I would imagine we're going to go to the negative side of the 618. Not necessarily straight to like 18K or something, but I don't see us pumping without some volume in the market. And note this, okay? Now I say 18K is kind of a bounce spot. This is an important one right here. This is by Raoul Pal, a cool character. Some like him, some don't. I personally find him kind of annoying, to be honest with you. But sometimes he says many, many powerful and true things, and he has good insights. He's not like a Peter Schiff who's just always wrong. You know what I mean? So anyway, this is kind of cool. I was trying to mimic this chart, but I could not quite get it. And so I started looking through and this is by RuPaul, and this is for Bitcoin. And at least I think that it's XBT BGN currency. I don't know. I think it's Bitcoin, right? I don't get the way he's looking at it. I was trying to mimic this chart. I could not quite do it, but it goes way back to like 2010. It's interesting. And somebody asked him, I said, well, for one thing, they were like, what is this green moving average? And he said the 60 weekly. And I could not quite get a chart to look like this. But then again, this is a logarithmic chart, which is not exactly the one we usually use, right? So anyway, sorry, I occasionally do blatantly show my ignorance. I don't know everything. But this chart, it's cool and it kind of makes sense. And so we have held the 60 weekly moving average kind of like ever since 2010. Interesting, I guess. I mean, I'm not like say I don't know how he made this chart. It's his voodoo. He's on a different chart level of understanding. Whatever. I don't get it. Although here he says monthly. Maybe he meant when he replied to somebody and said 60 weekly. Maybe he's looking at the 60 month. No, it wouldn't make any sense. 60 monthly wouldn't make any sense. Anyway, guys, suppose this is a 60 weekly. So thanks, Raul. Excellent insight as always. Much appreciated. One question: what figure is the green line at currently? Okay. This is like from yesterday, and he said around 24K. So that's rather interesting. And if you look ever since the beginning of time, this chart, whatever the crap he was doing, because I tried to make a 60, it was EMA actually, a 60 EMA on a monthly chart. You know what? If you guys can bear with me for 1 second, let's just try it. BTC. Now maybe it's different. I don't know. Anyway, let's just for fun kind of do that. I don't think this has always been there. Oh, I forget who's had it. I forget who's always had Bitcoin since the very beginning. I don't think Binance has always had it. Let's just. I hate to do it. Let's just take this. Let's kill this. Let's dump all this stuff. Boom, and let's hide a bunch of this stuff. Bam, 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 bam. And let's actually just take the 200 here. Let's make this a monthly chart. If you're actually still watching this, thanks for watching. It's kind of groovy. Okay, this only goes to like 2018. Now he was using BTC USDT. Who's always had it? I think it's Bitfinex, Bitstamp. Have they always had it? Who goes all the way back like that? Anyway, guys, I'll probably just visit this one later because I love to kind of try to mimic his chart there a little bit. See if I can get something close to it. Who's always had it? Not Bybit, not Coinbase. How about Coinbase? How long have you had it? Yeah, I'm not getting enough years back for this really to matter. Anyway, guys, sorry. I will jerk around with this later, and we'll try to figure it out. But I just want to make the point that it's a monthly chart going back all the way to like 2010, and he's using what I believe is a 60 EMA, a 60 weekly EMA, and supposedly it's right around 24K, and it does kind of fit, so if we actually were to bounce to that, I would imagine we never have gone under it before. If we did, that would be somewhat disgusting. I'd be kind of worried. But if we do not go under it, that'd be great. And so anyway, 24K is where he talks about that being that being what he is seeing. If I can get all my cool indicators back. Probably not. Okay. Anyway, guys, so let's just see. If I was to, bear with me 1 second, I will redo that little Fibonacci sequence here. I wanted to show you one thing here before we go. Then we'll be out of here. Bam. So put this fib back. Bam. All right. So now 24K. Where is that? So like he said around 24, around 24K. So 24K here. Oh, it's interesting. So if we look at 24K, as you can see, sorry guys, I'm a little bit tired today. Let's do a line here. And let's do it like that. There we go. And let's do the coordinates here. Hey, stop that. Coordinates. Let's see. Coordinates. 24. 1, 2, 3. 24. 1, 2, 3. Boom. So there's like the rule Paul indicator there, and that would be, so if we look here, we definitely have a little bit of stickiness right there. We've been there before. This is just something to keep in mind. I wonder if I messed around and I could figure out what fib level that actually is. Well, anyway, guys, that would be, there you go, 24K. Very, very, very possible. I mean, that'd be a fine place to bounce. So just something to know. Well, I'm going to actually keep a chart open here, and I'll actually mark this, and I'll put like the rule Paul bottom, and we'll see how that rolls. And in a way, I could see getting kind of hanging out here in the 618 golden pocket, and then actually bouncing wicking down there, and then continuing up. Something to think about. Anyway, guys, sorry, this has been way too slow today. Looking at DOT, here's the thing. I wanted to mention some alts here that I think have some value, but check out what's happening. So DOT. This is Polkadot. It kind of pumped today on the 45-minute chart, hit the 200 moving average, found resistance, didn't make it. That's usually just the sign of a weak run or kind of a weak market. And I would say that the weak run for a coin or is a weak market in general. So DOT really cranked, did not make it above the 200 moving average. SHIB made a hard move, never even got near the 200 moving average. Mana, massive run today. Hit the 200 moving average, found resistance. Digibyte, nice, powerful upwards trend today. Wicked above the 200 moving average, found resistance. So we got alts that are running really powerfully today, but they're just not making it past that 200 moving average. They're getting rejected off of it if they reach it. Bitcoin Bitcoin on the 45-minute chart, as you can see. It made a push. It didn't really even make the 200 moving average, and it's getting rejected there. I'm not quite ready to throw in the towel yet. Maybe it will attack it again. Stochastic RSI is about to turn up. KRI is turning up. Indicators are not that strong. Let's see what happens. I'm kind of looking forward to possibly closing with a green candle today on the daily. That would be nice, especially since looking at the Fibonacci sequences I have drawn it. Darn it, sorry. As the Fibonacci sequences I have drawn it, this would be kind of groovy. I would like to see us close above that 618 with a green candle today, and maybe we'll have a good weekend. But be careful, like I say, the trading volume. What is 568? What is it now? Come on now, refresh. 565, still 568. Watch out. Definitely, if we start getting down to like just above 3 or less than 3 billion. I don't think there's any way that we're not going to see some downwards motion this weekend. So hedge your bets, everybody. Make it happen. It's crazy. And remember, guys and gals, for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, a piece of shit globalist cries. And I will see you tomorrow.